Howdy yo and welcome to Rauta's Beer Reviews. Today I will tell you a little bit of Iron Maiden beer. There are quite a few out there. In fact, I'll show you quite a few beers indeed nowadays. Now Iron Maiden is one of those bands that everybody knows, and everybody who has ever seen band beer probably knows the big selection of the band's beverages. Now, they started early on, with many years ago, with a beer which was quite nice overall. And it seems like they have pioneered the whole band and beer thing ever since. Now, in this page, which you can probably see quite nicely, you have some selection of Iron Maiden beers. You have 666, you have the Trooper, you have Fear of the Dark, and so forth. And there are lots of beers. Not everything is not available in every country, obviously. I guess some of these beers are not available at all in your favorite country, whatever it is, your home country or other places. But anyway, that's what's going on here. And in case you want to look at the page, you will see that these are more, I wouldn't say detailed, but more shown here in this page. I was kindly enough, delivered a couple of these beers by a local distributor who's taking care of these beers, and one of them is this Fear of the Dark and one of these Trooper IPA. And I'm gonna do separate videos of both beers because obviously I think they both deserve their separate review video. I mean, I don't want to ruin the second beer taste with the first one, so it must be a kind of a virgin trip, if you will. So what I have here is the bottle. As you can see, this is quite a large bottle, bigger than the normal one. It says this is produced in the United Kingdom, which I already knew. Some of these text is quite small print for my old eyes. 500 milliliters, so half a liter bottle. This is IPA, India Pale Ale, for those who don't know what it means, and it's 4.3%, so it's quite light in terms of amount of alcohol. Now I obviously do have a glass. Unfortunately, it's different brewery, but can't have it all. And obviously the bottle opener. Let's pop the bottle up. You can pretty much hear the nice sniffing sound, if you will. And quick smelling. Yeah, it smells kind of a fruity. Way better than your typical lager, I guess. Yeah, definitely giving some British beer taste. There's a little bit of water because I decided to flush this once more before taking this beer. I'll try to show you the proper color. As you can see, this is pretty light, very golden. Not foaming much. As you can see, nicely becoming there, and soon it is quite clear overall. It's not that kind of unfiltered beers, which is nowadays a little bit more common, especially with the NEIPA type of beers or New England IPAs, which is kind of unfiltered India Pale Ale of type of beer. And India Pale Ale definitely refers to when British Navy, I guess it was called. Anyway, British ships sailed all the way to India, and they had to make a beer which would last through the whole trip. Usually much more in alcohol than this one, but modern days have created more technology, I guess, and more skill to create IPAs which are lighter in alcohol levels. I mean, not like 6, 7, 8, whatever percent. So they can be sold in many countries in local grocery stores, especially places like Finland where you really can't sell stronger than 5.5. Even that is kind of a new thing. Anyway, now that we really know that it has settled down here, it's nice, kind of a brown yellow color, golden if you will. One more sniff, and yeah, this is definitely fruity and hoppy. That's what IPAs usually are, quite hoppy. Some are easier and some are, well, very, very hoppy. Right from the beginning, when you really let it go round and round in your mouth, you will feel the hoppiness right away. There's a certain level of bitterness that really gets into your gums, on the top of your tongue, and it really wakes up your taste. But I'm getting a little bit of goosebumps here, which you can obviously see due to my long sleeve. And I already feel the nice, fruity bitterness, which is right here. Now, I've tasted a lot of British and Scottish and Irish beer during my years, and since 2009 I have been an IPA fan. I first, I guess, encountered it when I was traveling United States, and since that there has been no turning back. So I'm very, very much enjoying the kind of a hobby beers. But there are lots of British IPAs which are not exactly hoppy, and usually when you have lower percentage with these IPAs, you lose a certain kind of aftertaste, especially with the non-alcoholic ones. They might be giving you the indication, like a promise of what to come, like a trip to paradise, and halfway they're like, okay, we ran out of gasoline. You just get the hoppiness, but you don't have the taste of alcohol, which in the terms of beer is usually a bad sign. However, this seems to be able to mix these two in a nice ways. That is, there's a very, very nice hoppiness right in the beginning, but the aftertaste is also present. It's not as strong, obviously, with the stronger beers, but it's very, very enjoyable. Let's taste a little bit more. Even with the second time, that new wave of hoppiness and bitterness totally goes through your mouth and gets into your gums and top of the tip of the tongue, that is, and then flushes down. Now it's more clear that the first wave of taste, the hoppiness, is very, very much stronger than the aftertaste, which is, I guess, related to the low alcohol, well, relatively low alcohol percentage. But it's not bad. I mean, this is a really nice tasting IPA. And like I said, being an IPA fan, I usually find my sweet spot in a little bit stronger IPAs. Say somewhere between 5.5 maybe, until around 8%. I mean, when you can really, really high percentage, very strong beers like 12%, double IPA or triple IPA, it starts to become more of a boozy feeling. I mean, even when you have that kind of a double hoppiness or whatever it's called, still the alcohol is kind of like taking the strong arm point there, and sometimes it is just too much even for a hophead like me. But this is able to do, I mean, it's able to deliver the taste. It doesn't really just vanish like so many easier IPAs. And of course there are like California type of IPAs, like I remember having Dead Pony Club, which is something like 2.8 or 3.2, around those percentage anyway. And that also manages to do exactly what this is doing, having the strong hoppiness and then not vanishing even though there is not a strong level of alcohol. This is very, very good. And I must say, even though this is not refrigerator chilled, in fact, this is, I would estimate, roughly in the area of maybe 15 Celsius, because here in my office, it's not as warm as inside the main building. I'm in a regular building with some 21 Celsius or whatever. And I took this one out, the bottle that is, for a while before opening the bottle. So it probably got a little bit chilled, but I actually like this a little bit warmer than, refrigerator chilled, because it actually makes the taste better. It makes the taste more stronger. And in my opinion, it does actually a favor to the taste of the beer. If it's way too cold, it kind of loses the taste, because, well, that's how molecules work, technically speaking. Not that I have a degree in chemistry, don't mind that. So what I'm trying to say here is that I would say don't get this too cold, don't get this too chilled, or you will lose some of the taste and you will feel like, hey, this is just no other than your regular lager. But what this Trooper IPA is able to do is managing almost the perfect balance between the strength of the beer, that is alcohol, and the hoppiness. This is not too hardcore for people who are not used to drinking IPAs or any other hoppier style of beers, but it still isn't the kind of entry level stuff. So it's somewhere in the middle, I would say, and as such, I think this is a great gift for your favorite Iron Maiden fan friends, or maybe for yourself. Even if you're not fan of the band, this will get your taste buds a nice treat. And obviously, since all these Iron Maiden beers come in nice bottles, these are great gifts for any kind of metal fan. And here you can maybe read, if you just pause it for a while, and you can see this Robinson Brewery statement about this beer. You will have all the necessary information here: 4.3, 500 milliliters, and then these ingredients. And you can see malted barley, wheat, etc. And that's it. I guess this should be giving you an indication how this Trooper IPA really is. I would say go for this. This is definitely one of the better grocery store beers I've had for a while. So definitely thumbs up for that. Cheers and Slangeva.